Hi everyone, this is Heather from the Blue Earth County Historical Society, and for today's craft we are making paper beads. These are actually made from magazines more so than paper, but you can make them with paper just as easily following the same instructions. So for this you're going to need either paper or old magazines. You will need something to wrap them around. I prefer skewers, but this does a smaller hole, so you might want a pencil instead. A magazine of some sort where you'll find colorful pages to cut apart. You'll need scissors, and then if you want to string up the beads at any point, you're going to need some yarn and you'll need some glue. So let's get started showing you how to make these. Okay, so I have already chosen my sheet out of the magazine, and we'll leave my samples sitting here that I have made. So with this, you're going to want to cut them into inch and a half strips. They don't need to be perfect. And if you have a paper cutter and would prefer them to be a little more even than just regular cuts, you are more than welcome to use one of those. Otherwise, eyeballing this with the scissors works just as well too. And this one, you'll see it got a little thin, so that's going to be a little bit more awkward to work with. But with this then, you will take your strips, and this is where it gets tricky. You're going to want to cut them at a diagonal. So you'll cut through to make triangle sized pieces here. And like I said, with this small thin one, it's going to be a little bit more difficult here. And we'll just make as many as you want. You might just only want one off this page and find some off of another page here. And then what you'll do, and I've kept this extra here that you see, we're going to use this as something to glue on so that we're not getting glue on our workspace. So you'll decide what side you want to be the outside of your bead. So I'd prefer this side over this side. So this is actually going to be the side that we put up to begin with. What I found works best is if you take your glue stick, you put a little dab of glue at the end or near the end. You will then start rolling your paper along what you have for your bead. So I've just started rolling it around. I have a skewer here. That little bit of glue is going to help it stay to begin with, and you'll just keep winding. So I found with what you're using to wind, you're not going to want to use toothpicks. That's going to leave a really small hole. But you don't want to go too big either. And then when you get to the end, a small little triangle left, you're going to put glue on that whole bit and then keep rolling. And this is going to be what helps it stay in place here. And I need just a tad bit more. You'll see here on the end here, we'll get the tip of the paper here. And you'll press and hold it for a few seconds so that it stays down. And then you just slide it off. Now this might be too small of a hole for you, so that's where a pencil comes in handy as well. So we'll grab another one. Again, we don't want this side, we want the pretty blue side here, so we'll put this down. If you want to make sure you're not gluing your pencil here or pen, you can wrap it a little bit first before putting down your dab of glue. And it's the same process then. You just keep winding it up here. You'll get to the end where you have a little bit left, and you'll just put some glue on that and wind it a little bit more so that it's all around. Hold it for a second or two so that it stays, and then the same thing, you'll just pull it off. So once you have several of these made, I've already cut my piece of string here. You'll just put them on much like you would a regular bead. So you'll send it through, and we'll grab one of them that I made earlier and put it through. Sometimes it can be a little bit stubborn. Strings like to fray, so you might need to guide it through just a little bit more. And we'll put another one on, and then as many as you want for your necklace or your bracelet. And then you'll just tie it off, and you have got your paper beads. Very easy to make. Great way if mom or dad or grandma and grandpa have a bunch of magazines sitting around that aren't being used, that have really cool pictures in them. They make really fun, interesting paper beads out of them, and it's just an easy craft to do when it's a rainy day outside. So thank you for watching this with us today, and we will see you next time.